Hi, my name is Gloria Baraquio and welcome to Heart Alchemy Yoga. Today we're actually going to do something cool, which I like to call wall work. You know, we all pretty much have walls. If you're watching this video, I'm pretty sure you have a wall available to you. You might not have it available to you because there's furniture in the way, or maybe you have frames on the wall. So you can still find an available wall by either moving the furniture or moving the frames. But really want to do this video for all of you just because in my own practice, I've realized how much the wall has just been not only a strong support, but just helps to align, helps to see where we're a little off, and really just holding it down, really having my back. So I just want to show you a few things that I've learned along the years of my practice, just how to use the wall to really strengthen and to improve, our current yoga practice. So just to start and sort of warm us up, we'll just start in seated. And we'll close our eyes. Always just come into the breath. Take a deep inhalation. And exhale. Deep inhalation. And exhale. Good. One more big inhale. Maybe an open mouth exhale. Good. Okay, so one way I like to start my wall work practice is to actually, what I call is a modified down dog. When I would teach Iyengar practice, I would use this for some people who had a hard time going upside down, but still wanted to open up their arms and still open up the backs of their legs and lengthen the spine. So I'm just going to show you my backside, but here you'll take your hands, shoulder width, and it's just going to feel like a down dog. So really opening up the heart, opening up, under the armpits. And again, this is a great gentle way to open up the back, as well as the backs of the legs. You'll notice it's a different feeling from a down dog because you're playing with gravity differently. But you'll play with this, see how high your arms want to go. See how much you want to press your heart towards the ground. If it's too much on your shoulders, bring the arms a little bit lower. But let's really tuck in the belly, right? The navel towards the spine. Good, and you can play with walking the feet a little forward. Make sure the feet are pretty hip width. And this is, again, just like a down dog. Good. And you can stay here for a long time. If you have some back pain or even tight hamstrings, great to start in this. And you want to stay here for several minutes. Some of you, if you're ready, you can use that as a warm-up, and then you can come into an official down dog. So again, we're just warming up the back of the body, opening up the heart. Good. And then we're going to take our time and slowly come out of it. Rolling it up. Come to standing. Good. And shake it out. Great. So that's a good one to start with. And again, you're welcome to do that for anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes. This next one I like to do is coming into a warrior. However, for this one, we're going to put a block between our knee and the wall. So it'll be really great if you do have a block for this particular one. What's happening here is I'm going to press my kneecap against the block. And this is going to be my variation of a warrior. So I can widen my legs as far as it feels good and right. Start with the hands on the hips. Good. And then slowly, maybe raise the arms. Good. So in our warrior two, maybe your right knee is about 90 degrees. Your outer left foot is activated, keeping a little bit of space under the arch of the foot. A lot of strength building here. Take the navel towards the spine. Float the shoulders over the hips. I think there's a tendency in warrior to really lean into that bent leg, or the bent, or the hip of that bent leg. But really try to stay tall and strong, long in the spine. Good. And again, you can hold this for about, 10 breaths or maybe 2 minutes. Your choice. And then slowly take your time. You'll grab the block and come to standing. Good. And shake it out. Great. So for this one, same thing, different side. We'll get the block between the knee cap and the wall. And I like to use it long ways, so this knee goes here. Good. And if you find yourself slipping a lot in this leg, you're welcome to turn the mat around to make it go long ways. Maybe you're home on the carpet. So what I've told a lot of my students is one great way to not slip on your mat is to really engage the Uddiyana Bandha, which is really an upward lifting lock in the pit of the belly. So it's about 4 inches under the belly button. And you're really drawing the navel towards the spine. The tailbone draws down. Yeah. Shoulders over the hips. Float the arms. Good. So with that upward lift, right, you're actually not dumping your energy into gravity. Instead, really lifting, right? So that's why you won't slip as much on your mat, or, even if you have like sweaty palms, sweaty feet, lift yourself up. Or some people say their new mats are really slippery. And you want to breathe here. Again, whatever level of practitioner you are, wall work is so beneficial to strengthen, to really get you more focused into these poses. Sometimes in our flow practice, we're moving so fast that we're actually not focusing on our alignment or our breath. Or really the full benefits of the pose. Good, and really lifting through this inner thigh, really activating the quadriceps, really activating the outer right foot. Good. Again, you can stay here for a few more breaths. Good. I'm going to grab that block and slowly come out of it. Good. And shake it out. Oh, so a lot of strength, a lot of warmth in the legs right now. Really the use of the Uddiyana Bandha here. So this one, we're going to take that warrior that we used and we're going to come into a side angle. So the legs are going to be the same. So get pretty wide in the legs. Maybe the right heel in line with left arch. The other alignment some people like is the heel is in line with the heel. You can decide what feels better for you. So we're going to exhale and bend this right knee. Again, instead of leaning right, really just draw the torso down. Good. And then, again, it's great to have a block here. And the wall, you'll see, and you'll feel it. Your wall is there to help really open you up even more, right? So sometimes in side angle, again, we're kind of dumping our energy into the earth, into gravity. But here, we really want to open, right? So if I were to adjust you, I would come behind you and roll your rib cage, right, forward, or your left ribs back, your right ribs forward. Good. So one way you can start, especially if you don't have a block, is stay here on your knee or your thigh. If you have a block, flat hand, really active, right? Lifting the pit of the belly or draw the navel towards the spine. Activate that back leg. And the wall is here to help open up the front of the body even more and the hips, right? So I'm letting my hand graze the wall. And then for side angle, maybe we're here. But again, instead of turning down, open, open, open. Right? So Iyengar said, full extension is full expression. Right? We really want to find the full expression of each asana. Right? And many of us want to find full expression in our voice and in our being. So this is what it is. So we're breathing here. A lot of strength still. Feel a lot of it. 50% work in your left leg, 50% work in your right leg. I'm using my right arm just as much as my left arm as well, right? I'm not actually dumping my weight into the right? I'm really lifting. And drawing energy out this left hand. Good. When you're ready, slowly use the strength of that bhanda. Come up. And slowly come out of it. Yeah, that's a lot. Right? It's a lot to actually hold these poses and correctly and fully versus just vinyasa, vinyasa, vinyasa. Good. It's a different thing. Both really strong. But I find this type of practice, this alignment-based long holds in our practice, really strengthen the vinyasa. Yeah, so you're doing it correctly every time. It's a really high quality practice. Left side. So make sure you stay with your breath. So left foot points out. Left heel in line with the right arch. About 90 degrees in the left knee. It can feel like 90 degrees even if it doesn't look like 90 degrees. So it's very open in our hips. Very open right by that left knee. Activating the quadriceps. I'll take a tall block here. Good. And sometimes one side is different from the other. I know my left side is generally a little bit more weak and a little bit tweakier than my right side. Shoulders over the hips. Float the arms. The wall is here to help us stay aligned. Hand will come down. Maybe stay here to keep that heart open, right? Versus kind of caving in. Press away from the earth. Lift, lift, lift. And then bring the hand over. Good. And try not to really overextend your shoulder. Keep the shoulder blade plugged in. Gaze up. Good. And the wall's right there to help us stay open. We're still activated. Again, try not to dump so much of the work into the left side. Really root into the right foot. The wall is here to help open us up. Beautiful. That's it. Good. Stay with the breath. Good. Still activate through the pit of the belly. Uddiyana Bandha. Inhale, slowly coming up. Straighten that leg. Oh, shake it out. If you can, jump to the center of your mat. Awesome. Good. So what I love for the wall too is working on triangle. Similar but different. We'll go with the right foot, not as wide in the stance, but right heel in line with left arch. So I like to reach. I'm grazing my nails, my fingernails on the wall and the block. I'm going to take the block in the right hand, reach, really engage the pit of the belly. Then plant the block. It's right behind or near our ankle. Basically, you want the wrist in line with the shoulder. Good. And again, instead of dumping or looking down, try your best to really open up. Maybe your left hand stays on the hip. Good. And then maybe fingertips graze the wall to help open up even more. And then look up at the left hand. Good, and we're breathing. So stay active in the left foot, right? And I'm even keeping active in the right foot, really picking up my toes. Deep side stretches, right? Trikonasana is quite a complex pose, I would say. And you might notice there's a lot of work in the neck to look up. So you can always look down and look up again. Right. So what you want to avoid is actually really kind of curving in the right side. Stay long, engage in the belly. Stay long, open. Good. And if it's too much in the neck, look down, look up again. A few more breaths, stay with it. From the strength of the bhanda, come up, inhaling, beautiful. That's it. Okay, so we're going to switch sides. Legs are straight in Trikonasana, triangle pose. So I'd like you to reach far left as possible. In fact, graze the hands on the wall so you try to stay in relatively the same plane, right? Or it's really just about opening the body, right? If you know this is hurting your hips or this feels wrong, as always, please just don't do it or modify to the point where it's not so open, right? All of our bodies are created differently, and we all have different injuries or traumas in our mind, body, psyche, right? So, really honor that. If this doesn't feel right, go a little softer. Don't go so deep, right? Some of us actually won't come down. Maybe this is your triangle practice today. Just that. There's so much strength there as well as lengthening here, right? I know I've worked with beginners. This is their triangle when we work. Yeah. But then over months and months of breathing and opening, they end up here. Good. So you want the wrist under the shoulder under the wrist, breathing. You can always close your eyes if that feels right. And if this feels a little tight in your neck, look down and just turn it back up again. Good. It might help to really roll the left sit bone under you, open the right hip back towards the wall. Yeah. Only if that feels right. Yeah. Good. Some of us are more flexible than others. Good. When you're ready, use the bhanda to come up to standing. Awesome. And either shake it out or jump to the center of your mat. Reset. Feel samasthitihi. Balancing equally left and right sides. So a lot of standing strength. We'll do one more fun one that I love to do on the wall. It's changed so many of my students' practice just to kind of feel that openness, feel the length, feel the alignment. So we can move from triangle into half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. So it looks like this. We'll start with the right side. We'll get, a few inches away from the wall. I would say about 5 inches. And from here, we're going to still graze the wall. Plant the block really flush against the wall. You might have to reset depending on where you set up. So right now my left heel is touching the wall just to help me open a little bit more. Yeah, my wrist is under the shoulder. Try to get my hip over my ankle. Try to get my ankle in line with the hip. Good. Then that fingertips just touching the wall again. And then we're here, and then we breathe. Yeah, because sometimes in our half moon, right, we start turning that foot that direction. Really want to face it that direction, all the way to the right. Good. Helps to really activate through this leg, just like we did in Trikonasana. And again, we're not dumping weight into this right arm, right? Really picking ourselves up long in the side body. So many of us could stay here for minutes. Maybe not. But some of us, if we get really used to working from our center, it starts to feel a lot easier. Yeah, we're coming from our core, less work on the extremities, on the limbs of the body. Good. So same thing. I'm going to hold onto the block, maybe graze the wall. Beautiful. Turn that foot in. And switching sides. Let's go left foot out. Left heel in line with right arch. We're about 5 to 7 inches away from the wall. Fingertips grazing the wall. I'll move back here a little bit. When you're ready, slowly come on to the left foot. Hold on to the wall by maybe leaning against it or the right heel on the wall. Find where your block goes. So notice if it's here, notice if it's here, right? We want to get the wrist under the shoulder. Maybe rock the hip over the left ankle. Right wrist over the right shoulder. Breathing. Good. And again, instead of reaching forward, come towards the wall. Maybe your head even touches the wall, just so you feel that. But try not to actually lean against the wall, right? Really stay strong in the bhanda. Again, this is just to help open up the front body even a bit more. Activating strength, working on our flexibility, really opening us up. A few more breaths. And when you're ready, slowly inhale, coming up. Okay. So that's a lot of strong standing exercises. So we're going to slowly just come back down, or to reset, we'll do our down dog on the wall, which some of you, depending on your injuries or just how sensitive you feel in your body, you'll just stay here. Some of you can reset with a down dog. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to turn our down dog even more upside down, right? So if we're here or we were here, we're essentially going to do this pose upside down, which means hands will be on the ground, feet will be on the wall. So one way to measure this is we sit against the wall. We plant our hands right where our heels are at, okay? Or that's where they're going to be planted. You just mark where that was. Right. So that's right about here. Sorry, turn the other direction. And this one's fun. It can be challenging for some of us, many of us maybe. But get your hands really spread, fingers spread wide. Press the palms into the earth, but lift the energy from the earth. And then you're going to walk your feet up. Now, it's normal when you're starting, your feet are high, but I want you to just breathe. And I want you to try to bring your feet hip width, maybe in line with your hips. And if you can stay here a while, stay. Good. Some of you will take breaks, come down. Now, this is definitely an arm strengthener. But it's also a bhanda strengthener. So really, it'll be less work on your wrists and your hands if you really come from the core. So lift the pit of the belly towards the spine. I'll show you one more time. Everyone else, if you're feeling pretty strong, stay there. I like to do this with my students about, a minute in class. Then they take a break. And then they do it for another minute. It's almost like they're bringing their shoulders over their wrists. It's so light in the feet here. Good, you can do that too. Beautiful. So when you're ready, take a break. That was fun. So we'll do a little child's pose. So that was definitely a type of a handstand, like a half handstand. Beautiful. Good breathing. Okay. So, to my favorite part of how I like to use the wall. It is legs up on the wall, but with variations, so that we can really, all that strength that we worked in the legs as well as in the core, we can really begin to soften it and restore it and integrate all of the balance and flexibility that we worked on. So to get nicely flush against the wall, hug the right side of your body against. So your hip is really touching the corner, your head, shoulder. An easy way to do this for many of us is to come down onto our left side and maybe scoot the booty a little bit closer to the wall. Then take the legs up. Good. Yeah. Sometimes if it's your first time, it's a little tricky. But whenever you're there, just try to scoot your hips as close to the wall as possible. If you know this doesn't feel good or right, if you have a blanket or a bolster, you can rest on it under the sacrum or even just under the lumbar spine. You can decide. But from here, before we come into just regular relaxation, which, Viparita Karani, I totally recommend that you do every day after a long day of work. Before we do this, we're going to do some active stuff to really utilize the inverting, right? So we're reversing blood flow, but we're going to do some activation as well. So one thing you're going to do here is draw the toes toward the shins, and you can maybe go hip width if you want, and just relax the hands, get the shoulder blades flat. And we stay here for, if you can, for about a minute, maybe 10 breaths. Good. So really pressing the heels away from you, toes toward your shins, very active. Good. Whenever you're ready, release, take a break, and then We'll inhale here. Exhale, we're going to point the feet away from us. So imagine you're really stretching the front of the legs. Try not to give yourself a foot cramp. So it's not just flexing the feet. Good. And point straight ahead. If you notice yourself getting a cramp, release it and then come back. Good. Keep pressing the sacrum into the earth. Stay really grounded. You can feel a lot happening. I definitely do, especially in the front of the legs. And we're still using, again, the reverse of blood flow because we're on our feet so often, right? Even if we're sitting, we're on our feet. And everything's just draining there. Good. Okay, and then slowly release. Shake it out. Yeah. For this one, we're going to inhale, and then on the exhale, open the feet, almost like clown feet. So kind of the outsides of the feet towards the wall. So definitely working on this outer rotation. Good. Again, about hip width here. So stay here. Good. You can close your eyes. Stay with your breath. And again, try to do this for, 10 breaths at least, or a minute. You can take this sequence with you and do everything longer, or you can always pause or rewind and, stay with each pose a little bit longer. A few more breaths here. Then whenever you're ready, come back to center, shake it out. Good, and then one more like this. Now we're gonna, about hip width, we're gonna bring the inner feet towards the wall. Right, so it's an inner rotation here. Keep pressing sacrum towards the earth. There's so much we're doing for not just our legs here. We're really resetting our navel, working with all the nerve endings that are here, or the nerve beginnings really, in our core. Good. Stay really relaxed in the shoulders, the arms. A few more breaths here. Good, and slowly come up. Okay, so you can feel that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to keep this left leg exactly where it is. We're going to take the right leg out about 45 or 60 degrees. Okay, so we're not going to drop it to the ground. We're going to keep it right around here. We're going to take the front of the fist, and we're going to really wake up this area. Get everything moving. And it's, inner thigh, groin, but also connecting to those hamstrings. So don't hit the bones. Really just get into those inner muscles. And I promise you, this does wonders for maybe you're having back pain, hip pain, just general fatigue. This does a lot for the body. Good. Try to do this for a few minutes. Good, and then whenever you're ready, slowly inhale that right side up. Exhale the left side down. left fist, and go. Good, I'm starting from the inner groin all the way down towards the back of the knee, but not actually the back of the knee, just above the back of the knee, so like hamstring area. Good. A lot of tension, our adductors, or a lot of strength as well. Good. Try to get into the hamstrings, like the backs of the thighs. Few more breaths. Again, you can try to do this for about 2 minutes, 3 minutes if you have it. Good. This is definitely relaxation with some effort. And take your time, inhale it, come to center. So you can bring your feet together. This is Viparita Karani. Legs up on the wall. I can't recommend this pose enough for every human being I meet. I've done this pose for maybe 60 minutes after a long day of traffic or just in general, just being at my computer for so long. Just soften my eyes. I can put an eye pillow on. I'll just do this at home. Sometimes the only wall that I have available is near my bed, on my bed. So I'll actually do this on my bed against the wall. And just take a deep breath. So I encourage you to stay in legs up on the wall for at least 5 minutes. It takes about that long to really start a flush of the system. New blood oxygen to the heart, to the brain. I will pretty much guarantee you, I might promise you, that if you committed to legs up on the wall for, 10 plus minutes, especially after a hard day, you're feeling stress, anxiety, depression, anger, any of that, that you will feel better. You will feel softer. You might feel just a lot of love for life and for others. Just because you are allowing your nervous system to feel safe and happy again. I actually remember doing this after a long day of traffic and feeling a lot of anger and stress. And at the end of it, I felt just a strong connection and a lot of compassion, love and forgiveness. And that's when I knew this pose is a gift to the world, truly. So please stay here if you can. I'm just going to slowly come out of it to give you a final greeting. You always want to come out of it pretty slow. I feel so much better. That was a strong practice, but also deeply relaxing and restoring for the muscles and the nervous system. I want to thank you so much for joining me. My name is Gloria Baraquio. We are at the Springs, LA in downtown Los Angeles. And you can find us here at youtube.com/heartalchemyyoga. Please subscribe if you can. Give us a thumbs up if you like this or if you learned something new. And we'd love to hear your comments and suggestions. You can also visit us at thespringsla.com. And we're here. Come see me. I'm here pretty often. Again, my name is Gloria Baraquio. You can also find my website at gloriabaraquio.com. Thank you so much. Namaste.